So check this, yeah. I've been thinking, yeah. And before, so this is gonna be about like having multiple people in a relationship, like more than just two. So I don't think I'm against it no more. Do you know what I'm saying? I know this is gonna sound dumb because I'm not. For me personally, I'll still rather just be in a relationship with one woman. That's if I'm in a relationship. Yeah? If not, whatever. But me personally, if I was in a relationship, I would just want to be with that one woman because that's why I invested my time into her, plus more, and she's investing time into me, etc. Then otherwise there's no point. But for other people, before I would definitely disagree, but I would still feel like not totally disagree. I'll be honest, I disagree, but I still feel people they can do what they want. Do you know what I'm saying? But I disagreed with it. Like, I'll just be real. I disagreed with it. Now I'm thinking, like, I wouldn't disagree with that for other people. For myself, like I said, that's not my beliefs. But I've been thinking, listening to people's points and views on it. I'm like, no, like it's alright. Not in terms of, and don't some people gonna twist like, oh, you're talking about religion. No, I'm not talking about religion and other parts of the world. I'm just saying, for me, it seems okay, right? When you look at the points behind it, obviously, if someone doesn't enjoy it, it's not for them. So I'm not pushing. I'm not saying, oh, if you don't agree with it, you should do it because I'm saying it's okay, or because even if 90% of the world said, yeah, having multiple people in your relationships are fine, that doesn't mean you have to do it. This is what I'm saying. People always like quick to say, no, and this was me when I was younger, like, no, fuck that. When you disagree with something, you disagree with something. Obviously, there's some points in the world that you should disagree with because there's things that are morally wrong. But like I said, if people are happy doing what they're doing, you can't oppose it unless it's injustice, unless it's crime. Having multiple people in relationships, and let's say everyone knows about it, it's not injustice, not a crime. So you have nothing to disagree with, in my opinion. But we all have different stances. But this is just what I come to the conclusion. But here's my point, right? That's just me saying a fact of what I believe or don't believe. But the point is, if some people in religion and other parts of the world, now we're talking about religion and other parts of the world, some people believe only men can do this and then they can have multiple women. I believe, I'm not trying to take a feminist stance or anything, I believe women should be able to do the same then. If a man can have let's say it's religion, he can have 6 wives or 6 partners, and let's say it's not religious, I know if a man can have 5 women, 10 women and sleep with all of them, if that's expected from a woman, then a woman can do the same and have 10 men and sleep with 10 different men, have 10 different men for different needs. Like a woman can have a man to go cook and clean, a woman can have a man to go work and get all the money, a woman can have a man to look after the kids, and she can be the boss. Not the boss, or she can be the boss, yeah, but it doesn't mean a man's a boss, because I'm not saying a man has 10 women, he's a boss, but she can be the one making the decision maker, i.e. the boss. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't mean boss as in the way like, oh, I'm the boss of everything. I mean the decision maker, i.e. the boss. Do you get what I'm saying? Some people won't, or no, I'm not sitting down breaking on that point, but yeah, I'm not saying a man is a boss if he sleeps with 10 women and has 6 or 10 different women for the different roles. I'm just saying he has more decision making because he's thinking, cool, I'm gonna utilize it like this, this and this. So a woman can do the same. A woman can be the decision maker, i.e. the boss. Doesn't make her a boss because she has 10 men. Same for a man, doesn't make him the boss if he has 10 women. But on to the next point, yeah. So a woman can do the same. Some people are like, what? History hasn't proved this. Okay. Or history hasn't proved this yet, should I say, because one day it will. Here's the thing, right? And I'm going to put some irrelevant points into just to open our minds a bit more. Like I said, if you disagree with it, it doesn't mean you have to have. I'm not trying to push people towards, because me myself, I still wouldn't. If I don't really, I'm not looking for a relationship right now, but we're talking theoretically. Let's say theoretically, I was in a relationship, I wouldn't want to go out with multiple women while I'm in a relationship, or cheat, or anything, or I wouldn't want my woman that I'm with to say, oh, you can go do that if you want. No, fuck that. That's just my opinion. But if people are happy doing what they're doing, there's nothing wrong. Why should I? I'm not going to oppose it. Do you get what I'm saying? So this is not me, I have to say the disclaimer again, this is not me saying if you're a woman or a man and you disagree with what I'm saying, it doesn't mean because people are telling you, yeah, it's right to do this, it's right. If you're happy, you can have multiple things. It doesn't mean you should go do it. I'm just saying don't oppose it unless you really believe there's an injustice in this mentality or crime. Okay, now here's the point as to why women are allowed to do it too, in my opinion. Yeah, because people say, I've heard it from numerous people, oh, it's not in religion, it's not in history. The man has built, but I don't know. The man has played the building role. The woman has played like the nurturing home role. Yeah, and I'm not against that. That does make sense in history. But women can do it too, because if you're oppressed, you will become the oppressor. This is what history is now proven as a recent day. And like I said, I'm going to throw some relevant points in here that do not correlate completely, but they still make sense in the examples given. Yeah. For example, women have been oppressed. Obviously, I'm not saying men have not been oppressed. Men have been oppressed. Anyone in a poorer class have been oppressed. Yeah, facts. And I'm not saying rich people haven't been oppressed in other ways as well, but people with less privileges have been oppressed. Especially people from the hood, especially black people, yeah, or brown people, darker skinned people, especially, or countries where the poverty rates are much worse than people with more privileges. So, like I said, again, anyone with less privileges, the oppression is higher. You will eventually become the oppressor. Not everyone, because don't. When I say these things and I'm just throwing them about carelessly, I don't mean that 100% of people who have been oppressed are going to be oppressed. I'm just saying history has proved it. Not 100%, it could be 2%, 3%, it could be 99%. I'm not talking about the percentages. But it's proved it. Once a few people do it, that's enough. It's a cycle, it's a cycle, it's a cycle. Got people like, well, this has happened to us, so we don't care now. Cool. So now let's say, put in the point of women or a woman. Yeah? Because men have already done it. We've seen it happen. Doesn't mean women are excluded from it, because in terms of the human race, we're equal. Not as history's proved, but we're equal as in we have a brain, right? We have blood flow, we have a heart. I mean, we're equal in that sense, yeah. And yeah, I'm not answering that because usually there's fucking cold callers, but so yeah, here, like I said, now here's some irrelevant points. I'm just gonna make some shit up as well. Some things will have happened, some things might just be my brain just making up theoretical equations for this example. Women have been oppressed previously, yeah, because some of them, let's look at feminists, yeah, and there's a lot of there's categorization for feminists, and I know it's rude of me to do this, but women do the same to men. I'm not trying to play the versus game, but for this point we'll play the versus game, right? There's feminists that don't have no points to their. I'm not saying they're pointless, because everyone subconsciously doesn't know sometimes what you're trying to say, but you have points in there, but you're just chatting bullshit. So there's feminists that just chat bullshit. They don't know why they're feminists, but they subconsciously want to know why they're a feminist, but they're just putting out all the wrong fucking things and misguiding people further, yeah? So in essence, feminists, what they want is the top dog spot, yeah? Everyone in the world does, subliminally. Not everyone, but many people, yeah? Big percentage, bigger than you think, should we say. We want the top dog spot. So when we relate it to women, here's the irrelevant point. The top dog spot is like, women are being oppressed, poorer people are being oppressed. So women will, let's make the example of like, the man, them, a woman's loyal also to her desires, her wants. So either she wants a top dog spot, or she's in love, or her heart's on the line, or her mind's being compromised. Yeah, she's like, this is through oppression, suppression, oppression, whatever. So the guy's like, we set this guy up, and we're gonna rob him. The guy gets killed. So she set a guy up that she might have liked, that's just a friend or more, who for whoever she's with now, or whatever gang or clique she's rolling with, if you believe in that street credibility thing. Because that don't make you gang, that just makes you a crook, a snake. So she set someone up who might have money. It might be legal, it might be illegal. We're not talking about the ins and outs, yeah? She just set someone up, they got killed. She's the result of death. Because she was being oppressed by her gang, by her man, to put pressure on her, to lean on her. She's seen all of this shit in the music and the come up. That this is how, for some, I'm not saying women don't have their own mind here. There's some women that will say no, but if you want to be down with the gang, or you want to be, you're in love to that extent, you're going to do it. So now, she's been oppressed. She's just become the oppressor. She doesn't even know it. Yeah? So you can't say a woman can't have 10 men in a relationship if it's an open relationship, but men can. Because whatever reasons you may think, because of history, everyone wants to go to history in the 60s and the 1900s, the 1800s, whatever. I'm not the smartest on that, but you don't want to look at the 60s, the 70s. I'm sure it'll be very similar. In the 90s to 2000s, it will be similar. But I like to check the more recent history as well, because it will be in a different format now. And we always know that I don't mean when I say the oppressed, become the oppressor. I don't mean because they've always been oppressed. Some people are born as oppressors, yeah. But then it's learned behavior to the people that are oppressed. So when they get a position of power, they do the same thing. And in some cases, if a woman, and we're not talking about men versus women now, but if a human wasn't oppressed, but i.e. in this example, a woman, she wouldn't have set that guy up and got him killed. I'm not blaming the oppression 100% on that, because you still have your own mind to choose what's right or wrong. But it's harder to, if you don't know fully and you're being misled, and the oppression's telling you like, I just want my top dog's position, which has nothing to do with male or female, it's just like, it's the advertisement, it's the programming, yeah, you're gonna do it. So I'm not blaming the oppression 100%, but we gotta blame the history. People are right, we do have to blame the history at least 70 to 90% or something, and then the rest of the 10% is just the fact that you're ignorant and you don't want to learn more than what's under your nose. But that's also part of advertisement and programming and oppression. So it's like the 100% of it is still oppression. So some people feel like they have no choice, like, nah, I need to be the oppressor. They don't even see it as I'm being an oppressor. They say, I want the money, or I love this person, or I want to be gang, I want the clout. You're not thinking about, oh shit, I'm the fucking slave master. So in all, and it kind of doesn't full circle the point of men versus women, because now we're talking about calling people slave masters.